May 31st, 2013. Friday. Long day. Didn't get home till about 8 o'clock. No, wait a minute. I called. I said I was on my way home. So, about 8:45. Luckily, they went out and got pizza, so all I had to do was come home and relax a bit. And that was my dinner for tonight. But Fridays are usually quite busy. End of the week, start of the weekend, people want their cable. So I think there's a couple installs. There's one big job today, and it was last Monday was the holiday, and so I had set up a rewire redo, four additional outlets, and they were I had to climb into the attic, so it was just there's no way. I knew it was going to be about 3 hours, so there was no way I could do it that day because they really wanted you to get in there and get done and get out because it was holiday. So it should not have been set up for that day, but rescheduled it for the customer and got it done today. I know I woke up this morning before the alarm went off and I was thinking about it, thinking, it's going to be a tough job. And it was. And I even had backup call before I'm on the way there. I said, I'm heading this job, and it's going to be a big job, and anybody that frees up, you better send it my way, because I can use it. So Randy showed up and helped out. I pulled 4 lines. Where are you? 4 lines into the attic. Man, it was hot in the attic, very hot, and then stuff floating around. And then, of course, when I got down, I was outside because it was on the 2nd floor. You could climb through the ceiling and get into the attic. And then by the time I got down outside, where the connection box was, where the other end of the cable was, I dropped my tool up in the attic somewhere. I was thinking, damn it. I'm going to have to climb back up in there and go find my tool. Because I had a backup tool, but it's just not as sharp. Trying to strip the cable, and you kind of spin it and cut the cable, and it's barely cutting it, and pieces of plastic hanging on, and cutting them different lengths, and it's like, so I climbed back into the attic and then grabbed my tool, and everything's fine until we're over. And then got customer also ordered up some additional equipment and scheduled it. So when I rescheduled them, they said there's some stuff that's been shipped out, and I said, well, that'll work out because when I'm here, then I can install it at that time, and which I did. So on top of rewiring everything, and they set up the install for the boxes, so that was an extra 27 points. So that was an extra couple hours they of value time that they gave me to do that. So they pulled my last job, and I was able to stay there and get all the work done. And everything was hooked up, everything working, except there at the end, one of those additional boxes they sent out just wasn't going to work. It just wasn't. And one of the supervisors called and said, "How long is it going to take?" Because usually 6:30 is the quitting time. And he called about 6:50, and I said, "Well, as soon as this, I just got to check this last box, and in 10-15 minutes." And still an hour later, I'm still there. It's like, damn it, just wasn't going to let me go. So after replacing the box, calling in, and still couldn't get it, I said, just let it download, give it some time. So I don't have very much faith in that, but give it some time, it might load in and click on and turn on. So I left my name and number, and I was sure that he was going to be calling me. Now on the way home, I realized that something didn't seem quite right, because those little boxes, we have these little cable boxes about this big, and very simple. It's like cable in, cable out, and you send information to them, and they wake up and you get a picture, and it just wasn't doing it. And I swapped it out, tried a different box, and I tried a different cable, and I moved it to a different outlet, and tried it, and it just wasn't activating. And then I was trying to figure out, I talked to the person, and they checked all all the equipment and make sure all the codes were in there for each piece of equipment. And I was trying through my head. I said, did they get that extra fourth one in there? I mean, even though they could, I said, they should be able to see that. There's 4 boxes. And sure enough, when I got home here, I pulled up my iPad and looked at the count, and the way it was coded, it was only coded for three boxes. And there's actually 4. 4. So the fourth one was never going to come on. So I'll call in tomorrow and get that straightened out, and that should take care of that, and I shouldn't have to go back out there. I don't want to have to go back out there. Anyway, that was my day. So let's say when I was on the way home, I was just like, oh, God, what a day. What a day. Whew. Anyway, I was watching, let's see, this late night, kind of like 2020, was it? It's called Rock Center. And it's just a kind of an information documentation type show. And, like tonight they had some girl got pregnant in college, and then she put her baby up for adoption. And she got to pick the adoptee parent, and still will be able to participate. So there's like 3 of them will be raising this baby, it was kind of interesting story. And then there's there's like 6 women that each have lost either 1 or 2 limb lower legs from that bombing in Boston. And we talked about how they're recovering from that and getting them off. And that was interesting. But the most interesting was and I didn't know, but it's been around, Cosmopolitan, been around since 1886. That's a long time. I've never bought the magazine. The magazine that we have is a guy's magazine. It's called GQ, Gentleman Quarterly. And they have like all the trends and different actors and stuff, and shows a lot of advertises a lot of the clothing and stuff for guys. I know Cosmopolitan kind of focuses toward its women's side of the equation, and they've been around for a long time. So it's like you get your 6 tips in the Cosmopolitan. They talk about that stuff. So it was interesting that the one gal who's running it now, the editor-in-chief, she was she's a Brit, so she moved over here. And about her growing up in the 70s and getting to the point that she's running this. And there's one show that we watch a lot, Gordon and I, and we got Tross interested in, is Project Runway, and is where these artists, people who design clothes, kind of compete against each other and try to get their stuff out there. So there's a lot of magazines that will come in and say, who's the best one, and if you win this week, we will put you in our magazine. And the one gal that was kind of the critique, she'd come in and ask how they're doing, and they'd explain, and she would give them some peace of her mind, what should be done, what shouldn't be done, what it looks like. So she was the one that made the editor-in-chief, so it was interesting seeing her in that position, and then hearing how she got into that position. So interesting. Cosmopolitan. Yep. And there's something else I want to talk about. Couldn't figure out a song tonight, and I was looking up Cosmopolitan, and said Cosmos. And there's that one guy who used to go, there's billions and billions and billions of stars. He was that. Talked about the cosmos a lot. But then that made me think about the Space Odyssey from David Bowie. And he originally did that. I think he said he recorded it in '69 and was released in '72. There's a song off there that called Major Tom. And this is Ground Control to Major Tom. And it was interesting. There's a couple of months ago. I was looking at the date. No, it was actually this month, so it was a couple of weeks ago. That there's American up on the national. What was it called? Was it National Space Station? World Space Station? Anyway, it's more that everybody can go up there and participate in the space station. All the countries that have launching. Just this couple days ago, they got sent up and went to the space station. But this guy was up there and did a video clip and sung that song all the way through, Major Tom. And he's Canadian, that's right. So he wasn't American, he was Canadian. So they was talking about him tonight, and a little mustache there, and sung. So he got that big hits on big, what do you call it? We get a lot of views on YouTube. A lot of, there's a word for it. But anyway, thinking about that too. But anyway, the song I'm going to play is from his remastered, David Bowie's remastered Major Tom. Because I remember this one. This was back in '99, so this is 14 years ago. So, but it was very popular at the time. So sometimes you can release music and it's just as good quality as it was when it originally was released. So David Bowie, 1972, and man, you could almost put him on the top piece, Cosmopolitan. Good night all. May 31st. Oh, May's in the month. Another month gone by. January, February, March, April, May. Fifth month doing daily reading log. Pretty good. Is it May 30th, 2013? Still a good song. I listened to this for a bit. Crescendo. I like that. YouTube. Go check it out. Good boy.